Hello everybody. I thought I would just show you what I'm doing. I am making a huge batch of some shower steamers. So I thought, look, you might want to come along while I actually make these. So I've already made a couple on here so that you can see them. These are going to be 65 grams. So we are going to literally put them on top of the scale. And then we're going to zero it out. So basically, if you do that, every amount that you take out, you know is going to be in the bath bomb. So this is a very easy way to do it. So I'm going to make sure I measure the right amount up. And 65, you really want to put like 67 or something like that in there, just to make sure that it is the right amount. And I've just got my little hand press here. So this is the express hand machine. You don't have to use that, of course. And then basically that's it. We're going to push it up. You don't need to tap it unless it's crumbly, but it's pretty good, this mix. And I change my mix depending on the weather. I've been asked that quite a lot. So that's basically why, why I actually change it. If you're wondering each time why my mix is different. And so each time I'm just going to tear out my scale. That way I don't have to do the math on trying to make sure it's the right one. So every one I do, I measure. So every single product that I do is definitely measured. But like I said, I thought you might want to watch. So then basically I'm just going to put the top on. This mold is from Lee Molds in Australia. You can get it from Peter Molds, many other ones. I think it is about 4.5 centimeters across, which is probably, I don't know, 1.5 inches or something like that maybe. For those of you in the US that use inch, because in Australia and many countries we actually use centimeters or millimeters. And then you can easily just take it off and then sit it straight on the tray, and there is the tray, and I will show you. So this is about, I think it's going to be, actually I think if I measure up everything in it, this is maybe 3 kilos, maybe something like that. Anyway, it is quite a big mix, but because I sell a lot of shower steamers, it is definitely better to do a bigger mix. Now, I do get a lot of people asking me, can you use fragrance oil in it? Hello, darling. How are you? On this fine Saturday afternoon here in Australia. So you can use fragrance oils, but obviously it's not going to have any aromatherapy benefits. And the whole idea of making a shower steamer is for the aromatherapy benefit. But of course, this is your product. So my suggestion is you do what you know that your customers are going to love. I mean, maybe they just want to smell, because smell actually can make people feel, so much better too. But if you're selling to a store, I'm going to be honest, they are probably going to want essential oils in it. So this beautiful mix today, this is my new one, and there's no mica. So this particular color is red clay that I've added in it. And if you add things like red clay, kaolin clay, cornstarch, and of course cream of tartar, they're all going to help to the hardening of it. And I will show you in a second, after I do this one, how tough it is, because you need these to be really strong, otherwise they'll go powdery. And I've had powdery ones too, but if I clunk it in my hand, see how it sticks together super well? That's how you know it is a really good mix. So I'll tell you what I've got in my mix here. So I've obviously got your baking soda. Oh, hi, darling. How are you? I hope you're doing good today. I was making these and I thought, look, let's just show everyone how I actually do them. So in here I have about 2 kilos, you can be up or down a little bit, of baking soda, which is your bicarb. And I'm just pressing it as I'm talking. So, so we do have the bicarb. I have 800 grams of citric acid. And then I have half a cup of cornstarch, half a cup of kaolin clay, What else do I have in here? I have to think because I'm doing it off the fly telling you. I also have half a cup of mixed oils and polysorbate 80. So, you know, play around with that mix depending on your environment. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think, oh, actually, and 2 tablespoons. Oh, hi, darling, how are you? And I also do have 2 tablespoons of witch hazel. And, of course, I do have the menthol and the, what's the other thing that I'm thinking of now? Hold on, I've got to concentrate for 5 seconds. Otherwise, I'll bugger it up. You know? Yeah, so like I said, I do have some witch hazel in it. A couple tablespoons only, because I noticed when I was putting too much witch hazel, it was making my mixture powdery. Also today, my humidity here is at about 50, so you definitely want your humidity good. If your humidity is 60 or more, don't bother. They're going to turn powdery and they will not work. So you want a good humidity, everybody. And look, there's some areas that are no good making these. So I will just measure this one up. Like I said, I measure every one of these. So now these are my new ones. So I am going to be getting new boxes this year, some more boxes. And these are going to be 65 grams because I'd been asked a few times for bigger ones. My normal ones are 45 grams. And this is the mold I'm using, that I'm choosing to use from Lee Molds. As I did say before, you can get it from Cater as well if you're in the US, and Cater's easier. I know Soap Chef does lots of molds as well, so I'm sure if you reached out to her, these are called a tablet mold. I'm sure that she will help you out as well. But yeah, that's basically what I'm doing with this, and there is no fragrance in this. There is no mica. So, you know, we're trying to keep this as natural as we can. But it does have some isopropyl because I actually mix, what do I mix? I actually mix isopropyl with my menthol crystals. I don't grind mine down or anything. I know lots of people do. You can. But if you just warm up the isopropyl, it will melt in like 20 seconds. So the crystals will melt down. But, of course, please test, everybody. You know, I don't know everything. I say that all the time. I honestly don't. I just try and give you the best advice that's worked for me. And I hope that does actually work for you all. I hope if any of you are in Queensland, you know, the cyclone didn't hit you. We had a cyclone 1 or 2 days ago here in Australia. So I hope everyone's okay. I know it wasn't too bad. I think it was only category 2, which is still bad enough, isn't it? But it wasn't as bad as it could have been, I guess. But yeah, so this is, everybody, this is how I actually do make my shower steamers. And that's why I don't open my shop all the time, because obviously I need to be in here making these kind of products. Also, if your shower steamers are not hard, add more cream of tartar. So I add about half a cup of cream of tartar in a 2 kilo mix. It will really fix your steamers or bath bombs no matter what you're making. In 2024, I'm changing things around. I am not going to be making bath bombs. They're not a big seller for me at the moment. So they're going to be something I'm not going to do. But shower steamers are always a big seller. And with my beautiful new boxes that are going to come along soon, I hope. The same as my labels will be getting professionally done soon. You know, look, this is the thing too. It's not so much about saving money, but it's about saving time. Like when you're one person, you can't do everything. So sometimes you just have to admit that there's some things you can't do. And that's one thing I've noticed as well as I've gone along, that, you know, you kind of run out of time. Like one person can't do everything, can they? You can also get molds like this. Lee Molds sell them too, I know, and I'm pretty sure Cater do as well, where, you know, they'll have 6 or 7 of these in a row. for me, I don't make 100,000 a year of these or anything like that. You know, maybe I make 1,000 shower steamers a year, something like that. Maybe not even that much, actually. Maybe 500-600. I can't remember. So I don't need the big molds, but if you're, you know, ramping up your production and doing more, then maybe you might need to look at molds like that, or get someone else in to help you. Get your sister, your friend down the road, mum, if you're doing markets and things like that. And as I did say, this is an essential oil blend. Now, essential oils are expensive. They're not cheap. So you can't be selling this for $4. Nobody is going to make any money selling this for $4. So you need to sell these for, I've seen them, you know, look, generally $7 to $10 is normal for a steamer, but I've seen many of them for $15-16. I don't know what I'm going to sell these for. Maybe I'm thinking maybe like 10, because they're a bit bigger. So I've done my cost of goods. So of course you need to work out what's your cost of goods. Like, you know, what does it cost you to actually make this? And then that's how you're going to define your price, because I might be buying in massive bulk and you might not be. So that means you need to charge a little bit extra, just to cover your goods. And of course, you know, it costs money making this. It costs time. And if this is your full-time job, you especially need more money. And this is my full-time job. So I can't depend on a wage if I don't make enough money on selling this. So I hope that kind of helps. And here you go. That's what they look like. I hope you can see that nice and clear. Also, when they're drying, they need to be dried in a really dry environment. So if you have a house, buy one of those little things. My husband actually had one, and I actually stole it from his office. But it's like a little tiny gauge. They're like only, I don't know, $6 or $10 online. And what it does is it tells you the humidity in your room. So sometimes when you live in an older home, they'll be more damp than a brand new home. And you can see with my mix, I don't need to tap it. I can just take it off. So if your mix is sticking, it means that it doesn't have enough moisture, or it has too much moisture. It should cleanly come off like that and not break in your hand. If your mixture is good. And yeah, as I did say, I change my recipe all the time. So, you know, if you've got a day that's really hot, you may need to add a tiny bit more oil in. And look, the oil I'm adding in is such a small amount that is not going to make the floor slippery. If anything, it's going to help any colours or clays. It's going to help them not be stuck on the bottom of the shower floor, and nobody will thank you for them being stuck. So things like polysorbate 80 really are a must when you're using micas or clays, because you can tell people, oh, well, you can just scrub it off with bleach, but they don't like that. They don't want to have the extra effort to clean something later on. Now, also, you kind of need to have your windows open when doing this. These are strong and powerful. You know, these are really strong making these. And it can give you a real headache if you make lots and lots of these. You know, and you don't have your windows open. It can give you a real headache and make you feel sick, because the scent is really strong in an area. Like if you're having a shower, you're in and out in 5 or 6 minutes generally. So it's fine. But, you know, in a room like this where I'm doing, oh, and also my essential blend, I use 2% of essential blend. Now, you can use more, but if you use more, it's really expensive. Like, for a bottle of the one that I'm using, I think it's $130 a bottle. So it's not cheap. Some essential oils, like the rose that I use, is like 4 times that. It's hundreds of dollars for a bottle. So, you know, and too, I've seen people where some of their shower steamers are more expensive than others, and that's because of the essential oil that's in it. But look, if I'm going to be honest, I think generally you're probably better off to just price your product the same. Just average it out. because people don't really understand the price of essential oils, and they just think, why would I pay 20 for that when I can pay 14 for this one? And then you'll sell all of one and you won't sell the other for that reason. Unless you get a whole heap of people that really understand what you're doing. So like I said, I hope this is going to be helpful. And in this, I'm going to get 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. I reckon I'm going to get maybe 45 in this mix. Shower steamers are also a good money maker, everybody. And also, I use less citric than I would in bath bombs. In these, I only use 40% citric acid. Anything from 30 to 40 is fine. But the problem I've noticed when I drop my citric acid lower, I do have a little bit of a problem, because what I've noticed was happening was they were not staying hard. They were going powdery. So they needed the extra citric just to help them along. Now, I've noticed this is a tiny bit wet because I just washed another one of these. So I'm just going to get a cloth and dry this off, because I don't want anything tragic happen. And if I put that on there with a few drops, it would start to expand. So make sure all your boards are totally and utterly dry. I am back, so I had to get a cloth to make sure I dried this super duper well. Now, while we're at this, I'm going to talk about something that is important, everyone. I have a lot of people that say to me, they get very frustrated when they see other makers doing really well. And, you know, that maker may have learnt from them, or, you know, they may have helped that maker out. Now, I do understand that a little bit, but at the same time, you know, usually, honestly, if I'm going to be really honest, it means they've usually done something you haven't done to better themselves. And, you know, and I know from my own experience, from seeing other people I've taught sell heaps more than me. But they have invested a lot more money than me. And also, they have gone to probably trade shows that I haven't been to. You know, there's lots of things in it. And I will tell you, you know, this is the industry that you think it's cheap making products. It's not. It's really expensive. I'm going to be honest. This is very expensive to make this into a business. Over a few years, you'll spend over $100,000 if you're really serious in making it work. So unfortunately, it is the old story. Money does make money because you need to invest in products. You need to invest in yourself, in your education. You can do what I call the investment of freebies, which is YouTube. You know, like I learned so much on YouTube for free before I started my little journey. So, you know, invest that. Go to conferences. As you all know, I do have an online conference. You can sometimes go to online ones that are really affordable. This year in person, we're actually going to have workshops. So we're going to teach people how to make car diffusers this year. How to make huge diffusers. They can make their own and take it home. It's a part of the whole process that we're going to be doing. So, you know, like, there's lots of things you can learn. But if you really are like me and you're determined to make it work, you just need to invest in yourself. You know, I know we don't want to hear that. I understand that. I do. But that's my suggestion anyway, friends. Invest in yourself if you're serious, and you will make it. Ring up every store and say, are you interested in having my products? See if you can make a meeting with them. Go into the store. You know, that's a lot of people are too embarrassed to go into the store, but they're the ones that are not going to succeed. You know, and it is hard. Like, it's hard to do that. But that's my suggestion to you all. Go into your local stores, even ones in different states. You know, ring them up. Email's no good because they'll just delete your email. You could email them and then ring them 2 or 3 days later and say, I emailed you, I'm just ringing you up just to see if you would like to do wholesale. You know, then you could send them something you made on Canva, like a line sheet or something, which is basically a sheet with your products and prices. So yeah, there's lots of ways you can do it. But I'm going to be honest, this is, you know, it's not easy. But I hope that today, watching me do this, you can see it's not that hard. You know, if I was making thousands of these, honestly, I would invest in an electric press, because the best steamers and bath bombs are the ones that are compressed the best. And obviously the electric ones, they compress them super duper well. So, and of course, as I said, you know, your weather's got to be good and all of those extra things we know about. So we will fill this one up. And if you've just come on, I did say before, you really need to have, you know, a few grams extra. So if you say it's 60 grams to sell it, measure it up at 64 or 65, because it's going to lose a tiny bit of weight. I mean, mine don't have water in them, but they do have witch hazel, and they do have a tiny bit of rubbing alcohol, and then that's going to evaporate because I'm using 99%, and it's only just to make sure that all the menthol crystals are going to melt. Anyway, I said, you know, I hope this is handy. Like I said, I hope it gives you a little bit of an insight. And I won't keep you all on here too long. But like I said, I thought maybe. But if you have any questions, please ask so that I can help answer your questions if something's not going right. Don't make them in storms and rainy weather, friends, either. That's just a disaster waiting to happen. It really is. And make sure you go and join me on Pinterest and Instagram and all of those things, because I have started doing shorts. So I might even put a few recipes in the shorts as I go along. I sometimes give recipes in TikTok as you go along. So, like I said, I hope that kind of helps. And I'll show you the last ones we've just been doing while I've been talking. If you can see them nice and close. So they're not crumbly or anything like that, and I can easily pick them up. How do I calculate for wholesalers? So for wholesale, generally in wholesale, you're going to give 50% off your price. And that's why I said don't make them cheap. Because, you know, look, I'm going to be honest with you. Most people, where they make the money is wholesale. Because if you bought one of these from me, you're just going to buy one. A wholesaler will buy $200 worth from me, which is actually $400 in retail. So for me, so say for instance, this cost $1. That's not what it cost, but I'm just going to say it cost $1. To me, what I do is I times it by 4 plus 10%. That 10% is what I call wiggle room. Some people times their products by 6, times 5, times 7. You know, that's just the way it is. So, and then you know that. So for instance, let's pretend I say, you know, these cost $2 each. I'm going to sell them for $10. Let's just pretend. Now, out of $10, if you say, well, I'm going to give you 40% off to buy wholesale, you're only going to get $6. It might cost you $2 to make, so that means you're only making $4. Does that make sense? I hope that does make a bit more sense. But yeah, so that's when you're selling wholesale, you can't sell cheap. And my suggestion, go to other people's websites that sell, you know, that do sell wholesale. So, for instance, I sell my soap wholesale. So my soap's like $8.95. And then wholesale, it's like $5 or something like that. And then the shop, they can charge $10 if they want. Some of my shops that I wholesale to do. But you know, you've got to be realistic. You can't be making $2 on a bar of soap. You know, you can't be making $1 on this. It will not keep you in business. You know, so that's the thing. Wholesale, yes, you get a lot less money, but you sell a lot more. Yeah, that's right. We're talking about Australian dollars, my loves. Yeah, so Australian dollars are a bit different to US. So I think if I say $10 to you, I think maybe in US maybe it's like $7.50. I think I might be wrong, but I think it's something like that anyway. I'm sure somebody smart there can work that out for me. The American dollars, you know, maybe, is it 15% the difference or something like that? Anyway, I don't remember. The same as the UK is different again. If you know, I've got lots of you from other countries on, you know, and look, in Australian dollars, like I said, I've seen these for $15. Seen them for $5. And I'll tell you now, the company for $15 is going to have a much better and much more healthier product line and profit margin. Because even though you're doing it cheap, like, you're actually making less money in the end. Like, you might sell more, but your profit's so low that you're not going to compare to the other one. So, and it also depends on your customer, where you market yourself. I market myself kind of in the middle, I guess. I'm definitely not at the lower end. There's lots more people that are cheaper than me. But I like to think that my products are, you know, luxurious, and I don't skimp on the ingredients. I don't buy, like, you know, a cheap fragrance oil, for instance. So you can buy fragrance oil for $27 or you can buy one for $60, and I buy the $60 ones. So that's the difference. But, you know, you just got to find where you fit into your market. There's no right or wrong, and I don't criticize anyone for the price they charge because, look, let's be honest, we're not doing this for free, friends. You know, we're not in this industry for free. We're in this to try and give ourselves a lifestyle. You know, to make ourselves a wage. We all need money to survive. So, yeah, please just, you know, be kind to yourself and make sure you're charging what you're worth. Don't need to charge over what you're worth, but, you know, you do need to get some money to make products. Like, I would never be where I am if I was selling bars of soap for $5. Like, you can have a sale and sell them half price. And also, if you say to people, if you spend $80, I'll give you free shipping, well, that's got to come out of something. So you need your prices to be a bit higher to accommodate for sales and things like that. And remember too, when people are cheaper, they might, well, not obviously, but they may actually get their products cheaper because they're buying in massive bulk. So, you know, like, I was watching a soap maker the other day. I think her name's Ashley Marie. I only just found her. She came up, I think, actually on my feed. Anyway, she was saying that she buys in drums now. So that's the thing. She's buying her oils in drums. So obviously she is, you know, mass producing. She's able to buy in drums now. And then that will make her better money in the end. You can't be, you know, you just can't be doing this, you know, buying a 1 litre bottle of oil at the shop. You will not make enough money. But it's okay to test and try. So my suggestion, if you're doing markets, try and keep half of that money to reinvest, at least half, if you can afford it, you know, and then buy in bulk. Just buy one thing in bulk even if it's just the shea butter you're buying in bulk. That's what I did, you know, and I mean, look, I used the cheapest stand mixer at the start. It was only when my dad passed away, he left me money to buy a KitchenAid. So that's why I have a KitchenAid now, to be honest. So, you know, we've all just got to do our bit, don't we? And look, sometimes, because I've been doing this for quite a while now, I do get really frustrated and I think, oh, my dream of being big isn't here yet. But it will be. And that's what I want everyone to know. Even I'm not at the stage I want to be at too. You know, it's really hard. I'm sorry whoever wrote the comment, I didn't see it. It flicked off the screen, my darlings. But I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're selling things. You know, remember, we're in tough times still. It's getting better. You know, I do feel like it's getting a little bit better. Still hard, but it is getting better. And if you're making this, like, you know, obviously like I am, sort of mix it up. Like I'm mixing my big mix in between. Because if you don't, it can get a little hard and messy on top. You know, so we want it to be right, don't we? But I hope you love these. Tell me if you do. And I think I have 8. I think 8 different designs that are going to come out. You know, look, if I had the money, honestly, to do all the packaging today, I reckon I would sell heaps. But I just don't. So I've got to be the slow tortoise that's going to win the race in the end. And I always think at my age, what else am I going to do? I'd be bored sitting on the couch. And I do love what I do. And I feel like I'm helping people in some way. And I hope that I'm helping people achieve their dream as well as mine. Because that does, you know, make me feel really nice to know that I'm helping. For anyone that's been asking, also for my shower gel recipe, that is coming. The video is loading as we speak. I've spoken about that quite a bit. And I know I've had a few people asking me for the recipe. So you will get the recipe. It's just going to take time. But if you're on Patreon, you should have the recipe already. It's already up there on my Patreon. And you can change it a little bit if you like. And also these ones that we're making now, these ones should last quite a bit. It'd probably give you 2 showers. Like if you keep it in, you're not meant to put it right near the plug, just put it to the side a bit in the shower. And remember, these are not a bath bomb. These cannot be put in a foot scrub because there's too many essential oils for that. So you need to make your customers really aware that they can't do that, that it is not a bath bomb. Because I'm sure you don't want to have, you know, somebody jump up and down that they've hurt themselves or they've got a rash. They probably would get a rash if they just went and soaked their feet in this. You know, but honestly, the amount that's in here is fine to just be going down the shower. Because a lot of people are worried about when people are standing and you know, this is all going on the shower floor. But you're fine on the shower floor. It's just going to go down the drain. You know, some people put up to 5%. I only put 2% essential oils to make sure if it went on someone's feet, it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt them. It's fine. So I think I did give the recipe at the start of this video. I promised to save it and then you'll be able to grab my new recipe on this. I will do a PDF for my Patreons as well. So far I've actually got 40 in this mixture. And still got enough, so maybe we might get 45 or something like that, I think. So this is the second tray, all done beautiful. Like I said, it's all natural products in here. I'm just going to move it to the side. And I'm going to just do this second one. We'll just make sure we wipe this down a bit better. And like I said, we're going to just do this. Look, you could also press these with your hands as well. You don't have to press these ones with the machine like I'm doing. And I'm just going to hand press. But it's just whatever works for you. And because... Sorry, darling, if you can say that comment again, I missed it. And I will look at the screen because I was looking away without my glasses on. So whoever just wrote that comment, just pop it back in for me so I can see it, lovely. All right, I think we have almost made them. So I'm going to let all of you go. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of a live for today. And I'm going to see you next time. Bye, friends. Oh, you've learnt so much from me. Thank you, my love. That's so nice. All right, bye.